Holy cow.
Wow.
Whoa. They're going absolutely ballistic. Can you believe it?
It's that new stadium seating we got.
Good evening. Glory, hallelujah to you. What the hell's your story and what's going through you? Wow.
Hey.
Holy cow.
All right, enough.
Yeah, I'm your host, Pat Renwick, and we are Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. We are back after a spring break in the Bahamas. We are here to you live tonight from the brand new TH Marine Straight Cast glorified version of an outdoor bass fishing talk show, outdoor cartoon television deal.
That's right.
Right now, thank you so much, Mr. Huntley and all the crew at TH Marine for helping us out with this deal. And to say the least, we are super excited tonight about tonight's show. Not only do we have, well, let's just put it this way. It's been a long time coming, a slow train coming, and I've been working on this for literally about 6 years. And finally, tonight, for the first time ever on Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television, Rick Clunn joins us tonight. Wow. Wow. Holy cow.
There's some volume.
I can barely contain myself. Can barely contain myself. If it looks like I'm bleeding, it's because this guy right over here punched me on the way up.
I'm sorry about that.
Also coming on the show tonight, another two-time Bassmaster Classic champion, Jordan Lee, joins us tonight on the Skype machine, along with a mystery guest who will be phoning in during Jordan Lee's Skype. We don't know who it is, but we know who it is.
You don't know who it is?
No, I know.
It's just going to be some random
I know
person.
exactly who it is. Hey, but I do want to remind you out there right now. Who could it be? Who is it? I do want to remind you right now, Bass Fishing Universe, Bass Galaxy, you have the opportunity tonight to win a $50 prize pack, courtesy of Bravarni Baits, the finest swim jigs in the land. Dan Bravarni's throwing out a $50 Bravarni Baits swim jig pack. It's super easy to win. All you have to do is like the feed on the Straycast Facebook page and share it. Like and share the feed, and you will be put in the drawing for a randomly chosen winner at the end of the show. JP High will let you know who the winner is. $50 prize pack of Bravarni jigs. Hey, this guy sitting over here to my right, he's back from vacation also. You can tell by his glowing tan that he is returned from the Bahamas. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ryan Popcorn.
What's up?
Sweetie.
That's actually it's a Chicago tan. I didn't go anywhere.
Ryan Whitaker. It's a Lake Michigan tan.
It is a Lake Michigan tan.
I believe.
Good reflection.
I believe. The guy over here behind us, or no, he's in front of us. He's fielding your questions on the social media, as well as picking the winner for the Bravarni prize pack. Give it up for the OG hip hop fisherman. Ladies and gentlemen, JP. Hey. What do you say? Yeah. There it is. Producing the hell out of this glorified version of a bass fishing talk show. He's your favorite producer in the room, and he's my favorite producer in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Ellenberger, the Ginger Ninja. Dude, Ryan?
Yes.
What happened?
Oh, no, sorry. I'm just fighting the cold. Okay. I didn't realize I was that tight to the mic.
Hey, Ginger.
I'm a professional.
Where's the Three Stooges? I like when you play the Three Stooges. Hello. There it is. That's the Gingy intro right there. Hey, thank you all for tuning in. We are coming back momentarily with Rick Clunn. So put the power poles down. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back at you. Step up your game. It has been said that professionals are only as good as the tools they work with, and Alpha Angler has developed the ultimate set of tools for you, the competitive angler. Alpha Angler custom rods, brought to fruition by the passion of master craftsman Jake Boomer and 2017 BASS Angler of the Year Brandon Palaniuk. Alpha Angler rods are custom made in the USA, designed and engineered to be perfect. Alpha Angler utilizes a very unconventional approach to making the very best bass rods, from drop shotting to flipping. Alpha Angler's focus is on building perfectly balanced tournament-grade bass rods at an affordable price. Join the Alphalution today and purchase direct at alphaangler.com. Step up your game. alphaangler.com. Discover the magic of balsa. For decades, professional fishermen and the angling elite come to rely on the fish-catching performance of hand-carved custom balsa lures. PH Custom Lures by Phil Hunt have assembled the comprehensive line of custom balsa baits. The original Huntin' Pete, Bill Lowen's Dollar Bill, Wesley Strader's Ploppin' Pete, and the new Matt Heron Fudd, in addition to the entire family of PH Custom Lures, are just what you need to get that edge over the competition. Discover the magic of balsa today and visit phcustomlures.com. That's phcustomlures.com.
The swim jig technique is one of the most successful ways to put fish in the boat. Time in and time out, Brovani Baits swim jigs are just the right tool for the job. Beaming with quality, the Brovani swim jigs come in a myriad of colors, feature the best premium hooks and solid trailer keepers to give you, the serious bass angler, the confidence you need to accomplish your goal of putting more fish in the boat. So go to BrovaniBaits.com and start climbing the ladder to swim jig success.
Oh, yes. Welcome back to Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Is there any, I know you're having some difficulties with the sound. Is there any way you can bring the cans down just a little bit? That would be awesome, because I'm redlining. Hey,
Mine as well, please.
right now, we are super excited for the first time ever on this show, right here, right now, to bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the one and only Rick Clunn, right here. Yes. All right. All right. They love him. What's going on, Rick? How you doing?
Oh, not too much. That was kind of a grand introduction there.
It was grandiose. Is that a word?
No, I just hadn't on radio. You don't normally have an audience.
Yeah, well, we have a live studio audience here, and they are all Rick Clunn fans, Rick. I mean, I just want you to know that. Just want you to know. Hey, man, I want to tell you we're super excited to have you on the show here tonight, and it's been a long time in the making, as we both know. But what I want to do is kind of get to know you tonight, Rick Clunn. I want to get to know you, the angler, the person, okay? We know a lot about your fishing habits. We know a lot about your style of fishing, but I kind of want to get to know you as a person. So let's take it back. Let's go back 44, 45 years ago, whatever it may have been, when you first decided to turn as a pro angler, to turn to professional angling. You're a young computer guy. You're going way back, okay? Did you ever think in all these years that you would be as influential as you are to so many anglers throughout the universe here? I mean, let's put it in a perspective here, like Star Wars. You are the Jedi Master that brought everyone to the Dagobah system. You know, do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, most people are liking me more to Yoda, but no, no, I never thought about this. Really, when I quit my job in the computing business with Excellent Company, I just wanted to make a living doing something I love to do, and I didn't care if I just, live from paycheck to paycheck, because that's what most people do anyway. And really, I don't mind living from paycheck to paycheck, especially if I was doing something I love to do. That was my only objective and goal back there 43 years ago. It's obviously been a lot more rewarding than that in many, many ways.
Yeah. When did it kind of come to fruition to you that you were such an influence? At what point of your career?
Really, I don't think, no matter what point in your career that you realize the effect you have on other people, what we don't realize is it's probably 10 times more than that. For every one person that comes up to you and tells you, that you motivated them and that you were an inspiration to them, there's probably 5, 6, 7, 8 more that don't come up to you. That's kind of what social media has showed me. Without social media, I probably wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and I think that what happened, Rick, is it's kind of wait, hold on. Can you get me just a little lower in the cans? Apologize. We just moved into our brand new TH Marine Studios here, Rick, and we're getting used to the mojo, if you know what I'm saying. But I think in the year, like I've been a fan of yours, may I say, all of my life, pretty much most of my life here. And I really started to, not to sound creepy, but study the prowess of Rick Clunn around the year 2000. So I'm going back 18 years ago. That run you had while fishing the FLW tour, it was like you were like a man on fire. It was absolutely amazing. The Beaver Lake tournament, the Pickwick tournament, and my favorite of all time, Rick, is the Mississippi River tournament. That was amazing tournament. Could you please tell us in your own words about that Mississippi River tournament?
Well, amazing. I would probably put the adjective I would use would be brutal.
Brutal, yes.
I mean, yeah. If you were there, that it was just a monster run every day, and that river gets real rough whenever the wind's blowing against the current, which it did every day. And I think it was the second day of the event where I was fishing. I was allowing 2.5 hours to get there and about 2.5 to get back. And it took me 4.5 hours to get back that second day. It was that rough. And there you can't run. The worst waves are out in the current where the current's pushing against the wind. Most of the time you try to get on the edge of that current, but there you can't do it because of the wind dam. So it really became a real brutal test. Catching the fish was really pretty simple. Getting there was the key, and then getting back was even a bigger key.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's before they changed the rule about the cumulative weight on the FLW tour. You would have won that derby if they would have had it. I mean, if it would have been a cumulative weight, correct?
I honestly, you're testing my memory there. I honestly don't remember that. I know I ended up second, and Gary Klein ended up winning, but I don't know. No, I don't remember that because these tournament organizations are constantly changing the formats, and now we got all the cuts, and the old days you didn't have cuts, and there used to be 3-day tournaments, and then they went to 4-day tournaments and with cuts, and so it's really hard to keep track of all these years of what took place exactly.
Well, I figured it out. You would have won, just so you know now, Rick. You would have won.
He's seen that tournament about 300 times. I think you got it.
Yeah, he won. Rick Clunn won that in my eyes. Even though Gary's a good friend and a phenomenal angler, you won, Rick. So what I want to know is, let's take a typical day in the life of Rick Clunn. I'm not talking about on the road during the tour events, but what's a typical day at home for you like? What are you doing on a typical off day?
Well, yeah, as you know, there really is no such thing as an off day. I have an off day from fishing, but then since you've been gone 1, 2, 3 weeks, you got to catch up on everything at the house. You know, all the things that have broken, all the flats on your tractors. You got to, it's just basically catching up on home life, and which is become probably my, admittedly, in your early career, you're pretty selfish. I mean, all your energy goes toward trying to be successful in what you've chosen to do, which in my case was fishing. But that's really not the case anymore. It's probably my time at home now is a lot more important to me than my time at tournaments. It's just I denied so much energy to my home and to my family back then that I can't make up for it, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, and we could tell it's evident that you do enjoy that time at home with your family, as we do see. What?
Yeah. No, I live in the Ozarks, and it's a gorgeous place, and we have a lot of acreage, and it's very remote. We spend a lot of time hiking in it, and there's always something going on, with the deer and the turkey and the bears and the elk and the mushrooms and exploring the caves and all of that. So, and my wife, fortunately, I live with a family that loves to do that. It's not hardly a day that goes by, especially in the tickless time of the year, which is the winter, that we're not out hiking someplace.
Did you ever get a hold of that pesky coyote?
I did, but I didn't really get a hold of him. One day I heard some other dogs barking, and I went down below my house, and we get to about a 30-foot sheer bluff that drops into the creek, and I looked down, and these hounds had a coyote in the creek, and he would try to come back. The current was pretty good, and he would try to come back, and they would try to get him, and he'd go back out in the creek. And finally, I fired a couple of shots just in the air and the ground, which the hounds immediately took off. And the coyote come swimming back to the bank, and he would try to get up on the bank twice, and then he just floated over, laid his head on the water, and died and floated away. Well, I didn't really have a whole lot to do with it, but I guess it was kind of a karma for the coyote.
You got him. Bottom line. Bottom line. Say, Rick, what would you say that your guilty pleasure is on the, as far as you as a person or an angler? Everybody's kind of got a guilty pleasure. What is yours?
Besides my wife?
Yeah. Well, that's the obvious. What else?
Well, really, it's really being around them. I don't have hobbies. I gave all of those up years and years and years ago. My son is now, taking on, golf, and I'm watching him play because I played a little bit of golf. I bowled before I got into fishing. I did a little bit of everything, mediocre at all of them. And I realized when I got into fishing, I better give all those others up and focus on one thing. And really now, and my oldest son is in college. He's really, he wants to pay his own way. So really just watching them grow and mature and is really, I don't have, like you said, hobbies where you go out and spend your time golfing. So it's the one thing in my life I probably don't have a guilty pleasure about,
Mine's Haagen-Dazs ice cream. I can't get enough of that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're going that deep into it. Yeah, mine too. You like Haagen-Dazs ice cream and chocolate Dove, dark chocolate Dove little candies.
There you go.
Well, they just come out with a recent study that a lot of us that are in the sun a lot, we crave the dark chocolate, and the dark chocolate is one of the best things for your skin as much time as we spend in the sun.
That makes perfect sense.
That's why I'm looking so good.
That explains it to us. We just returned from our spring break in the Bahamas, and I think that's why we're eating all these chocolate bars here. There's something going on.
Well, it sounds like you have a whole lot more guilty pleasures than I do.
Oh, yeah, you don't even want to know. You don't even want to know. But I'm a little better than before. That's for sure. That's for sure, Rick. Hey, do you like that term Zen Master? Do you like when they call you the Zen Master?
Well, I don't object to it because I've studied it a lot, and I understand that I've got in trouble over it with the religious community because they think it's they try to demonize it whenever you study Zen or anything else. But and the reality was that the thing about Zen is really becoming one at what you do with what you do. And I know at the peak of my career, that was what I was achieving. There was a book called Zen and the Art of Archery, and the best archers in the world in Japan, they would be at their best when the arrow, the release of the arrow, the target, and them all became one. Essentially, they would say, I end up shooting the arrow into my heart of myself. And I know that's a little deep, but that's really what you do in fishing too. Is eventually you get so in tune with the fish and the natural rhythms that you're fishing in the moment, and that's the most important thing as an angler, is being in the moment. Any intellectual process always puts you behind the moment. We have to do it because that's just the way our minds work. But Zen actually puts you fishing exactly in the moment and changing, not fishing yesterday's fish, not fishing the big string you caught the day before, but fishing exactly the conditions you should be fishing right now to be successful.
Right. I think that's a great life lesson too, just live in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And that's kind of like what you refer to in your Art of Angling, and it's been a while since I read it, but you talked about the quantum leap and how the ordinary becomes the extraordinary, and you begin to know what's about to happen before it happens. Is that kind of the same thing?
Yeah, it really is. It is, but again, when you've been taught since you were 5 or 6 years old that the intellect is the most important thing in our society, and it definitely is very valuable. But you should never allow the intellect to become the master. Still your instincts and your intuition and being in the moment to be the master. And then the intellect to be a servant which complements that. That's a tool which you execute everything with. But in our society, all too often, due to you go to high school for 12 years and then to college maybe for 4 or 6. So 18 years of intellectual bombardment. You think, well, the intellect has got to be the most important thing. In fishing, though, I can guarantee you that it's not. You need it, but you should never let it be the master. Everything else, your intuition, your gut feeling, all those things we've heard for years should be the master, and then you use the intellect as a servant or as a tool.
Yeah, and we overthink so many things as anglers, don't we? I mean, we're our own worst enemies sometimes.
Most of the time we are. Analysis paralysis. I love to think, and I love to think what happened with patterns in the past, seasonal patterns, and what's going on, and putting it all together, the conditions today, the temperature, the wind, the weather, and then putting it together with past successes. But the problem is, you're right, I'm extremely guilty of analysis paralysis. And sometimes that's where the cuts have probably hurt me more than anything. Sometimes the first or second day of the tournament, when I've done that and I do badly, then I finally give up on that and go back to just fishing, by my instincts and by the moment is when I do the best. A lot of times, though, now the cuts, you don't get that opportunity the next day because you missed the cut. So in fact, like when I won at St. John's a couple of years ago, I caught my last fish the second day. It was a 4-pounder, and I make the cut by 1 pound. If I don't make the cut, I don't see that 31-pound string the next day, and I don't see, So it's definitely a battle because we all want. If we caught 31 pounds, we want to go out and try to duplicate that the next day, and that's rarely work.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously that is the goal there. That is the goal. In speaking of tournaments, I once heard you say that tournament fishing is a grind with a couple flurries mixed in, and a successful tournament is determined by how you handle the flurries. Now, can you explain that? Because to me, it would be like how I handle the grind, but you said it's how you handle the flurries.
No, I think you're correct. I don't know where I gave you that impression, but you're right. It's the grind. You have to understand the flurries. You have to like at St. John's. I'm going to use it as an example. I knew the big fish was a small window of time during the day. The rest of the day was a grind. But I recognized exactly what that little window was going to be and what was going to cause it and when it was going to open. And so then, I had to be in the right area throwing the right bait. And it was simply cloud cover or wind or something that would break, get a windy or would basically diffract the light. And whether it lasted an hour or 2 hours, that's when you caught the big ones. The rest of the time, it was a grind. And the grinds are really still the most important. And so I apologize if I misled you, but that's where the mental toughness steps in, because you don't always know that window's going to open. So you have to salvage that day by having the ability to grind it out and salvage the day. It may not be a great string, but it gets you to the next day. And then maybe that window opens the next day, and then you can bust the big string.
And that's where I don't fish tournaments anymore, because I'm the king of second and third place. So I kind of stopped that. Now I just do a bass talk show.
And you don't like waking up.
Yeah, and I don't like.
8 a.m.
I'd like to just go when I want and all that good stuff. But the whole deal with me is when I'm in the grind, Rick, and I know I'm done, I'm thinking about what's for dinner. It's like that's my key, that I am done, that I am the day is done. And how can I overcome that? How can I do it? Give me some advice.
Well, it's again just remembering that it don't take long for that to happen. I mean, you can go from complete failure to incredible success in less than 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, and you just got to keep grinding and working at it, and hoping that window, if like I did at St. John's, okay, the minute it gets cloudy and the minute the wind starts blowing in here, I know it's going to happen. If it doesn't, then I got to just grind out and try to salvage the day. But the other thing, here's a little trick. One of the tricks is when you're having that thought, just remind yourself that 80% of the field you're competing against is probably also having that thought. And if they follow that thought, then now 80% of the field has been eliminated. And only 20% that's not following that thinking now still has a great chance. Most tournaments are made or won or lost in the final 2 hours, not the first 2 hours.
Wow.
I love that.
That's the tip of the week.
Yeah.
If there is such a thing
Tip
on
of the
this
year.
show. Yeah, that's the tip of my life right there. Just the tip of my life. Okay, so here let's you once said again, and I love, believe me, and I hope this isn't coming out weird, man, but I studied things you say. So I want an explanation for this. And you said that the people that the humans, you use the term the humans that you admire the most are the humans who have succeeded in obtaining a high level performance over multiple years. Who are these humans that you admire the most, Rick? Who are they?
Well, there's one exception to that, because we all define a high level of performance in a different way. There was a song written by Michael Murphy about the old desert rat. And I actually, there's a line in it that he knew where it was at. He knew what life was all about. And it was simply about survival. A successful life is toughing it out and surviving. And so, and I put my dad in that. It would be the first human I admire, even though by most people's standards, since he went through a bankruptcy and other things in his life, would probably not say, well, he didn't perform at a high level. But it's not necessarily your materialistic achievements as much as it is your character achievements. And he simply always lived his life as hard and worked as hard as anybody. And the thing he taught me was, don't be afraid to fail. Well, you can start over. Whatever it is, you can start over, but don't give up just because you, quote, fail. And fishing, you know how important that is.
Yeah.
We still fail a whole lot more often than we don't. And he worked as hard as anybody. And this was way, way, way before tournaments. I'd follow him down creeks in Oklahoma waiting. He'd wear my little tail out. He'd fish hard all day long. You would think he was fishing for $100,000. He wasn't. He was just fishing because he loved it. And it's really where I learned to fish hard. And so that's probably the number one. Of course, then there's a lot of iconic figures that have performed at a high level over time. And of course, you can go into fishing, and what I'd have to say, I admired Roland Martin. I admired Bill Dance, and because they, but now it's different time, different formats, but still, and of course in other sports, it's obvious that you have people like Jack Nicklaus, who just had the Masters in golf, and then and Tiger Woods, who just dominate for a 10 to 15 year period. That's hard to do. And now we're talking about competitive stuff, and boy, if you can dominate for 10 or 15 years in any sport, that I admire that.
Yeah, man, I'm learning. I am learning right
Yeah.
now. I'm not going to kid you. Rick, I once heard you say again that you know how to win. I heard this on an interview with Terry Brown, one of my heroes. You told him that you know how to win every tournament you fish, but it is not fair to those that you love. What does that even mean? How do you do that?
Well, it gets back to that selfish part of my life where I really, and I know it's pompous as hell to say that, but I really felt that I could win any tournament if I could go through a procedure which used a lot of things. It used a lot of meditation time. It used a lot of visualization time. It used a lot of Zen time. It used a lot of study and hard time. But that took up all my time, and it took time away from some very important people in my life, family. And I got to a point where I knew how I could mentally do it. And it gets back to, and then I'm gonna get so deep on it. People are probably gonna walk out of your audience there.
It's okay.
but it gets even down into the quantum physics level, where you gotta understand everything is created by energy and matter, and the amount of energy you put into controlling matter is how you create anything that we know in this world. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But still. At that point, I really had a command of that. But it took every amount of energy I had to do it, and I finally said I can't do it anymore. I'm a human. I'm a social creature. I don't need a lot of people to love me, but there's a handful of people that it's very important that I love, and they love me back. And so I quit. I actually quit. And I quit. You know when I quit? When I run a Redman All-American Lake Havasu. And from that, I saw every fish that I was going to catch long before they ever took place, the night before. And but still, I know what it takes to get to that level. And I said, that's it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this just to win another trophy and another, honor or award. So I quit doing it.
Wow, that is outstanding, and I mean, and just the fact that that you figured that out is amazing, absolutely amazing, and it kind of brings me to another Rick Clunn, let's call it a myth, okay, that you're able to channel other worlds or otherworldly things. Like, for example, and I read this on the internet, so it has to be true, Rick, that you appeared in Jay Ellis's room and were moving objects around, and you were haunting the Ellis family. Is that true?
Well, no, Jay was smoking a little too much pot that night. So, no. Why would I wait? If I had that power, why would I waste my time doing that to begin with? Secondly, but no, again, one of the astronauts made the statement, the only thing between the known and the unknown is just a gap in knowledge. And if you figure out what that knowledge is that separates the known and the unknown, then all of a sudden you look like one of these mystical, magical people that most of the time they're going to demonize you. In the old days, they would have cut your head off or burnt you at the stake. So, but that's really all it is. It's just filling in the blanks between the known and the unknown. And everybody, boy, when you do that, sometimes those that haven't filled in the blanks, it scares them.
Wow. That is
And
awesome.
that's what happened to Jay.
And Jay is from Oregon. You know that. Hey,
Hey, Jay's just one of those people that didn't really understand me, and I probably didn't understand him.
you still didn't have to go haunt him, Rick. I don't understand why you did that. Crying out loud.
Hey, if I was going to watch Bedtime Activity, I would have chose a different couple.
Oh, that is outstanding. Hey, there's an Eagles song that says it's the Eagles song "Get Over It." All this whining and crying and pitching a fit. Get over it. How does that apply to bass fishing today, Rick?
Well, it applies to everything because it's basically just a song, a beautiful song about how you deal with negativity versus living a positive life. And it's just like every morning you get up right now and you can see what's on the news. It's nothing but negative. China's about to blow us up. We're about to blow up Russia. Korea is trying to do stuff. It's just a big pissing contest. And if you listen to it every morning, how can it basically you end up with that negative mind? And that was the beauty of the Eagles song. They were basically telling you that I love the song. Matter of fact, I love most of theirs, but. We got it. We got to, whether it's, anyway, hey, fishing is just a little tiny microcosm of that. If you go out there and you think the wind's not going to help you and it's too bright and it's too muddy and it's too clear and there's too many boats, we're doing the same thing. We're just, pitching and whining and doing all of that. And one of my 6 depth finders went out and ruined my day, So we tend to want to focus on those things instead of, remember when you didn't even have but one little depth finder and you had 4 or 5 rods and most of the tips were broken off from them and you put on new tips and you still caught fish.
We did. There's no doubt.
Get over it.
Hey, Rick, have you ever played a game show before? Have you ever been on a game show?
No.
All right, we play little game shows on this Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television show, and we got a little game show. It's called 3 on Deck, 1 in Hand, and basically what it is there's a new rule that Trip Weldon and I have initiated here for the remainder of the Elite Series, and you're only allowed to have 4 rods and reels and 4 baits. Okay, and it's called 3 on Deck, 1 in Hand. And we're going to ask you to tell us what those 4 rods and reels that you have to work with are. Are you ready, Rick?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What's the first combo, Rick?
Would be a deep diving crankbait and a shallow diving crankbait, like a square bill.
Okay, so the one rod is got a what? A deep diving crankbait?
Right, because you didn't tell me what season, so I'm just trying to cover all seasons.
Yeah, you got to cover all
Gotta cover
seasons,
all.
and you get 4 rods and reels and 4 baits, and they're laid out on the deck. What are the 4 rods and reels and the 4 baits?
Yeah, I fish all the same rods and reels pretty much. So it's a 7.5 foot heavy action with it's a Johnny Morris wide spool that carries a lot of line. I'm going to probably have a deep diving freak on, and then I'm going to have a medium sized square bill on with like an RC3 or an RC4. And then the next 2 rods and reels would be a spinnerbait. Probably a 3/4 ounce with medium to large long drop blades. And the other one would be probably just a jig, and if I've got to cover all seasons.
A good old jig, right there.
That'll do it.
And I knew the answer to this, but you won anyway, Rick Clunn. You won. Congratulations. Yes. Wow. They're Rick Clunn.
This sounds like the Ellen DeGeneres show where she gives away a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what it is. You won absolutely nothing, Rick, but thank you. But that trickster spinnerbait, it's for lack of a better way to put it, that's kind of a hidden little gem, that trickster. As effective as it is, and I've caught zillions of fish on it, it doesn't seem that it's been accepted by the masses. Does that make any sense?
No, it really hadn't been. It hadn't been the angler's fault. It hadn't been the master's fault. It's really that bait's been caught with a company that's been up and down and changing hands and being bought out by other people. And every time we're just about to get it rolling and get it available, something else happens. It gets bought out. Something else, and it gets put on the back burner. And it's unfortunately been a back burner bait. And so it's really. I have a lot of demand for it. But I've never got in a stable time frame where we can produce enough to really supply the anglers with it. But the long draw blade is probably the best blade that I will ever throw. And I basically chose it. I made it about 10 or 15 years ago because I like the Willow Leaf and I like the Indiana. And I said, why don't I make one that's like a long, like a willow leaf, but had to round it in like an Indiana? And that's what I did. And it's just been an incredibly effective bait. It's a big fish bait. Willow leaves you can catch a lot of fish on, but they're not really known for catching big fish. And I'm talking about 7+ type fish. And of course, the classic biggest bass ever caught, the Bassmaster Classic, 10-something was caught on that long drop blade.
We all remember.
Now that's only the second biggest in the Classic because Preston Clark caught one off the bed that very same day on Toho that was 11-something.
Definitely the biggest one on a spinnerbait.
Yeah, unbelievable. That fish catch is classic, too.
My favorite fish catches.
No doubt. Hey, Rick, I'm getting the signal here. We are just about out of time, but could you give me some advice, Rick, before we head out? Could you give me some personal life advice, please, before we head out?
Well, basically, as long as your nasty hobbies are not detrimental, just don't give them up.
Nice. I like it. Okay, there it is. And my hobby is bass fishing and being a bass fishing talk show host. So that I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep at it. Rick, thank you so much for coming on this show. I can't tell you how much we enjoyed this and how honored we are that you were able to come on here tonight, man. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. I enjoyed it. It was quite different.
No, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, one last final round of applause for the one and only Rick Clunn. Yes. Rick Clunn, I bid you peace until we meet again. Thank you so much. Yes, there it is right there. Rick Clunn for the first time ever on Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm a little overwhelmed, if you can't tell. Just a little bit, but hey, there's plenty of more.
Incredible.
There's plenty more show to come. So please put the power poles down. We're coming back with Jordan Lee right after these messages. Keep it locked.
Taming the beast isn't easy, but the bigger your electronics, the more you have on the line. In conditions like this, you need the KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount. The only electronics mount designed and built to be rock solid, no movement, no matter how heavy your gear. A marine-grade mount for fresh or salt water that's monstrously strong. The KVD Kong Extreme Electronics Mount.
Nothing stops your boat faster and holds it more securely than Power Pole shallow water anchors. Some folks hear Power Pole and think, oh man, I can't afford that. But did you know you can get the 8-foot Power Pole Sportsman 2 hydraulic anchor now with Sea Monster 2.0 pump and heavy-duty hydraulic hose for just $1,295? It's got all the features Power Pole anchors are famous for, and a single Sportsman 2 will hold a bass boat up to 4,500 pounds. Go check it out at power-pole.com to find a dealer near you. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. he emerged out of the college ranks. The young angler we have come to know and love. Ladies and gentlemen, Straycast Outdoor Cartoon Television is proud to bring to you two-time Bassmaster Classic champion, Jordan Lee! Yes! Yes! Woo! Give me an internet high five, Jordan.
Hey, you got a lot of people in there screaming.
Dude, they're going nuts.
They got the number one fingers up.
They're still excited about Rick Clunn, I think. I'm not sure it's you, but it's definitely Clunn, for sure.
That's a tough man to follow. Your show's going downhill now.
No, dude, we're stoked to have you on, man. And I think the first thing to say to you is congratulations again.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, dude.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been pretty amazing, last few weeks. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Have you slept at all?
Oh yeah, I've slept plenty since then. But directly after the event, I can't say I was sleeping a whole lot. It was pretty busy right after it. So, but I've caught up since.
Well, let's do it this way. Let's imagine you're at a bar, okay? And let's say it's you and Justin Atkins sitting around. Let's throw Justin Lucas in there. Let's throw Matt. Matt's in there with you too.
All right, fair enough.
All of a sudden, you're just sitting at the bar and you're having a good old time, and somebody just comes up and left hooks you out of nowhere. Boom,
Sure.
Dude. That's kind of seems what happened in these last two Bassmaster Classics. You got
Yeah,
left hooked, but it ended up wonderfully, man. It was amazing. You got the left hook.
Dude, it was crazy, these last two events. I mean, the Classics, just how it's, ended up for me. It is really, surreal. I mean, just how the leaders, it's been just one of those tough days, those last days. I mean, that tournament's just been tough. And I've just happened to make the right, decisions on that final day, and it's worked out for me.
Man,
But yeah, there were some left hooks thrown for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like it's amazing because and no disrespect intended whatsoever by the statement I am about to make, but it seems as if you're flying by the seat of your pants, and I love it. But
Yeah.
you are such a natural. I don't know if I have ever seen anybody able to adapt to conditions. An angler as yourself, man. It's amazing how you do that, and I mean that sincerely.
Well, it's one thing is that tournament in particular. I had a pretty tough practice, and when that happens, when you go out there, and I was struggling, and you really can kind of just have an open mind, and that's really what I did in that tournament. I had something in mind, that the docks were, fishing boat docks on Hartwell was something that I knew I wanted to do, and I was confident in it, and it just wasn't happening in practice. But, the weather really played out for me is what happened. I mean, I did adapt somewhat, but I kind of that was going to be my best chance at winning that tournament, and that's really what I tried to focus on, and just seeing the weather and how it was going to change and warm up. I was kind of really banking on that to put me through that event.
Well, it's like Rick Clunn was just talking about, is fishing the moment.
Yeah.
One of the most important things, and it seems like you're nailing that.
He is 100%, dude. I mean, that is it's so amazing that you're able to do that because again, we were having this conversation with Clunn, and I can't do that. He was telling us, and you may have heard him say this, that during a tournament day, the majority of the tournament is a grind, and then there's moments of flurries. And it's
Yep.
how you handle the grind that makes you a successful angler.
That's right.
Dude, you handled the grind.
Yeah, I handle the grind pretty good because most of the time is a grind. That's kind of one misconception. Angler different. Everybody has on us that we got it figured out, and we're catching fish all day, and it changes so much day to day. fishing does in general. I mean, everybody knows that, how you go out one day and it's completely different the next day. And you have to, try to figure it out every day, especially in a springtime tournament. And yeah, it's something, that I'm not really a guy that I feel like in a lot of tournaments, I don't catch 30 or 40 fish. I'm more it seems like when I do well, it's more of a 7, 8, maybe up to a little bit over 10 fish a day. That's kind of what, that's considered a good day for me.
Yeah, and able to capitalize on it, dude. I mean,
Yep.
and those are the bites. I mean, there's a misconception that somebody's out there catching a zillion. You guys are out there, boom, 5-pounder, 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 4-pounder. It ain't like that, dude. It's those few bites.
That's what's so great about the Bassmaster Live and watching it on there too. Is if you watch it all day, you're like, man, he ain't getting bit much.
Now, it can be kind of tedious. I mean, especially when you're watching that. I mean, you're right. It's not something that's every day. I mean, all day long getting bit. And it's definitely, you got to capitalize, and your tackle has to be, that's something I've improved on every year is my tackle and having the right hook, the small things. That's what's made the big difference for me, and the right line size and just, not losing fish once you get that bite. I mean, that's definitely.
What happened? Was that you?
Yeah, I'm good. I
It's time to come home for dinner.
think that was a phone call we got coming in somehow on the computer. I don't know. But anyways, I mean, that's definitely getting those bites and capitalizing and putting them in the boat. I mean, that's everything.
Yeah, and let's put this into perspective. You have been at this on the Elite Series for 4 years. You've fished 4 classics. You've won 2 of those classics. Okay,
Right.
I mean that's crazy, dude.
Batting 500.
He's batting 500. And here's something that I found really interesting. And we do these little stats. Not as good as Ronnie Moore, but we do these little stats on this show here. Nobody's good as Ronnie Moore. We know that. we know that. But you, in your tournament career, have won $1,067,429 in your BASS career. And you've caught 2,018 pounds of bass. Here's the deal right now. That equates to $528 a pound. He is the clear and apparent winner of the dollars per pound
That is the highest.
on Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television.
For sure.
$528
The highest. Yeah.
a pound.
I like those stats.
That's nuts.
That's wicked tuna.
Yeah. So, and obviously you're rich as can be because of all that money per pound. So when we had Justin Atkins on, he told us that all he did with his Forest Wood Cup money was buy a new mattress. That's what he said. Oh, I just bought a new mattress, man. I'm like, what? What did you buy? What'd you buy?
That's a good buy. Anything to make anything to make the women happy is definitely key.
Sure.
I haven't really broke the bank yet. I hadn't found a big purchase or anything like that. I mean, I wish I had a good story on what I bought. I didn't buy a Lamborghini or anything like that. And I thinking about building a house in a couple of years, so we're kind of saving up for that. And as a professional fisherman too, you're going to have those rainy days, and you don't know what's kind of around the corner. So you want to make sure that you have enough in the bank to keep you going too. So I'll be all right for a little while.
Yeah, and if you keep up that $528 a pound average, that's pretty good,
I mean,
man.
that's probably going to go downhill the more tournaments, because the classic wins, I mean, you can't count on those every year, but I guess I have been the last few years. Well, we'll take it. I like those stats. I mean, I'll definitely take it for sure.
They just announced today that the classic is going to be on the Tennessee River.
Yeah, it's going to be on Fort Loudon. And,
Okay.
And I think it's the start, maybe the start of the Tennessee River. I'm not sure, but it's not considered, to me, I wouldn't really, I consider, Chickamauga and all the way down to Kentucky Lake. That's kind of when I think of Tennessee River, but it is on the Tennessee River, and yeah, it should be interesting. I've never fished there before, so it'll be something new for a lot of people.
Yeah, and we're excited about it. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. Whoa, what is this? Do you hear this, Jordan? I think it could be. I think it's King Kong coming through the jungle. Wait.
Hello?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Lee and Kevin VanDam right now on Straycast Outdoor Cartoon Television. Stand up and shout right now. Kevin, welcome, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. Just hustling around, I got a long road trip coming up, so been busy. A short time home, trying to make the most of it.
And we appreciate you coming on. And you're on with this guy that also won 2 Bassmaster Classics, Jordan Lee. You're on with him right now, right here.
Yeah, he's been a show-off lately, the little fun gun.
Wow.
Oh, I don't show off compared to Kevin. We all know that.
No, come on. Lately, I can think of 2 times.
Well, what are the 2 times?
That's the only 2 times. Kevin's got like 28 times he can refer back to. I only got 2.
If you're going to show off, that's the time to do it. That's for sure.
Absolutely, man. What do you think about Jordan Lee's average, Kevin? I mean, 4 classics and 2 Ws. It's pretty outstanding.
Yeah, I'm 4 for 28, so he's doing a whole lot better on his average. That's for sure. They're hard to come by, though. I'll promise you that.
Oh man,
Yep.
and it's evident. And again, we just had Clunn on before you guys, and we learned a tremendous amount from him. I'm not going to kid you today that we did, and something that kind of points back to both of you guys in our eyes is your ability to persevere. Even though Jordan's only been at it for a short time, you've been at it for quite a while. The perseverance is what is admirable in both of your cases. Does that make
what's really interesting to me is how dramatic he likes to make it. I mean, why, like last year, why go out and catch a limit every day when you don't have to? I mean, why not come back from, the middle of the pack to go and win the damn thing? I mean, this year did the same thing. Virtually nobody gives him a snowball's chance in heck to be even in contention on the final day. And what's he do? Goes and shows off again. I mean, that's why you don't ever want to slip around that kid.
I promise you I don't plan it like that. Yeah, that's the last thing I want to do is to be 8 pounds back going into the last day in any tournament, because your odds are usually stacked against you. But
yeah, yeah. When you do it, once you've done it for a while and you've been on fishing enough tournaments to know, but it's you know that you don't want to live like that very long for sure. It's a whole lot better being 8 pounds ahead going into the last day and going out there and sacking the heck out of them. It's a lot funner. I can promise you that.
Hey, Kevin, I know you're busy, and we do appreciate you calling in. And before you go, I was wondering if you could help me with something here. That I think that Jordan needs a catchphrase. Like Chris Lane has the ever so riveting kapow, and Ike and Ellie has the don't stop trying that he says, and they never give up. What could be a good catchphrase for Jordan Lee, Kevin? What do you think?
Well, I think because of his initials, and just in the way that he's so dramatic, in the way that he does win when he does, that he needs to come up with some dance moves. And so we'll just call him J-Lo, and he'll be just like the J-Lo from the music industry. And he just gonna bring it on like that. So I don't know. He doesn't need no catchphrase like you can never be too far back or anything like that. That doesn't work. I think he should just show up, smile, and just break it down.
Just bust a move and shake his moneymaker.
Just to bust a move.
I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna have to take some
Yeah,
classes.
I'm sure he's got talent.
I'm not known for my dance moves. I promise you that. So I guess I'm gonna have to take some lessons.
That's Skeet and Davey Height. They're known for their
Yeah.
dance moves.
Marty.
Marty
Yeah,
the Party.
Party.
I definitely am not.
Kevin of Wolf and Man, peace. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate you coming on to say hi to us and Jordan Lee, man. Appreciate it.
You bet. J-Lo, we'll see you soon.
There it is. Kevin
You guys have a good one.
Thanks, dude. Kevin VanDam right there. Grace. What do you think of that, Jordan? Where the heck did he come from?
Yeah, I've fished against that guy once or twice. He's caught a few bass before.
he does it all right.
Hey, we were talking about the common attributes that these guys have, and the other thing that all three of these guys, Clunn, Kevin VanDam, and Jordan here, have is the efficiency. They don't waste a second on the water. If you watch any of them, no long celebrations, fish in the live well, and get your bait back
Boom,
out there.
back at it right away. You were pretty much, you were right there. I remember you saying that maybe this could be your catchphrase. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep going.
Keep going. Keep going.
That'll work.
That's the
it
catchphrase right there.
Yeah, got to.
Our freaking feed. Freaking feed. You kept saying freaking feed. Whatever that meant.
Feed them. I'm gonna feed it to them.
Feed it to
You
'em.
said they're feeding,
Feeding.
so I'm going to feed
'em.
it to them. Freaking feeders.
Freaking feeders. That
That's
was
awesome.
outstanding. Dude, you get caught up in the moment.
I like when they're feeding. For sure.
There's no doubt about it. Hey, at the Classic, man, why did you pick the Neko rig for those docks as opposed to something like a jig? What was the deal there?
Yeah, so the deal with that is, that water that I was fishing with, it was crystal clear. It was, 7-8 foot visibility. So, those fish aren't really wanting to. You really have to go with a kind of finesse approach to get those fish to bite. You could go with heavier line and a jig, but it's not really as natural as that Neko rig, and is the way that falls. It's just that they bite it. Being in that clearer water though is something that it just works good. It gets you more bites and it catches bigger ones. So it's something that I feel like I had some confidence in, and it's done well there on that lake before. It's no secret. It's had some tournament success, but it works really good in that clear water.
And why did you choose to use the Neko rig with the nail weight, for example, instead of just a standard wacky rig Ocho?
Yeah, so the deal with that, the weight in the worm, it gives it a little bit faster fall. So when I was skipping those docks, and let's say they're 8-10 foot, it'd take probably 15, 20 seconds maybe for a weightless worm to hit the bottom. With that Neko rig and that nail weight in there, it probably only takes 3 or 4 seconds. It's falling pretty quick, but it's natural, and it was the bait that I went with for the docks.
And I have to do this right now. I have a viewer mail question from Dark Zona from Michigan right now. Yeah, not Mark, but his alter ego, Dark Zona. And he wants to know if you and Matt had bunk beds as kids, and who got the top bunk if you did.
That's a good question. I think we did at one point, but I think it was too much of a hazard with both of us in the bunk bed that we had to get rid of them. I remember, I think I had the top bed, and because I was maybe the smaller one of the two, and I had to climb up the ladder and all that. But it was kind of like one of those Step Brothers scenes, and blood everywhere, and it just got a little too messy.
And then you practice karate in the garage afterwards?
Yeah, we had some boxing gloves and things like that. We went all out with each other.
That's outstanding, man. You've been at this for 4 years again with amazing rocketing success. So I know you spend a lot of time on the road. You do a lot of sports shows. Besides the derbies, what is the craziest fan experience you have ever had yet? Like an experience with a fan. Have you ever had like a crazy fan yet?
Well, I'm not. I wouldn't go as far as say crazy. The most interesting thing I've had happen was this that I can think off the top of my head was I was at a show about a month ago, or a little bit over a month, 2 months ago, before the Classic. I was in New York, and so I got the name Jordanius Maximus from Zona gave it to me
For
when I was
sure.
fighting a sturgeon in, and I had the little hat on. I don't know if y'all saw
Oh
it,
yeah,
but
Yeah.
with the awesome cape.
You have
Yes.
the crown.
and so he called me Jordanius Maximus, and that was kind of caught, I guess. So this nice couple had their I think it was a baby, and on it was printed out on our shirt. She had Jordanius Maximus.
Nice.
That's something you don't see every day with infant with Jordanius Maximus on the front of her little deal. So that was pretty interesting. I hadn't seen that, and I signed it.
Nice. Jordanius Maximus tees available now on jordanleefishing.com.
Onesies.
Yes.
And at Amazon.
Hey, we can open up the phone lines, guys. What do you say? The phone number for the call-in studio, if you want a chance to talk to Jordan real quick, 520-214-BASS. 520-214-2277. Here's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to talk to Jordanius Maximus at this present moment.
Slim.
Boom, right there. Bring it on. So what is the biggest fear moment that you have ever had in professional bass fishing? Like, what was that fear moment that you've had out there? Something that stuck with you.
Oh man. I don't know as far as probably the biggest thing that I can think of. There's two different times, but the Classic obviously last year, run into my spot on the last day of the Classic, and running there, and all of a sudden my motor just going out on me,
Oh,
and
yeah.
going. I mean, I can just picture those RPMs just going down. I mean, and I was only running 40 miles an hour. A lot of people thought that my lower unit went out, but it was an actual fuel diaphragm. And when that happens, it really just the RPMs just slack off, and I was just running. And all right, we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Sorry. Anyways, that moment, really, I mean, I can just see it. It was slow motion, and I had a long ways to run. I mean, I was making a 15. It wasn't that long of a run, but it going 40 miles an hour, it was pretty. It was going slow, but that moment was definitely probably one of the scariest. As far as not making it to your fish kind of deal.
Sure.
And it would have been costly if it would have just happened to go out, midway to that place, because I probably wouldn't have got to, it would have been tough to get back out and come back with that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that would scare the tar out of you, dude. I mean, that's and you again able to persevere mentally over that.
Yeah.
Hey, has it entered your brain yet that next year you're gonna have an opportunity to do something that no one's ever done in bass fishing?
Yeah, I mean, it has a little bit, but I know how hard, like Kevin said, I mean, I know how hard they are to come by. And these last 2 years, it's really just, it's crazy how it's just worked out where, I wasn't leading this event, both events going in the last day, and it just happened to be one of those, the weather really played in, and it was just one of those tough final days. But I'm excited, to try to do it again. I mean, it'll be on my mind going forward, and I'm looking forward to it for sure. And it's gonna be tough to do, but I'm ready to try to do it.
Nothing to lose, man. Everything
No,
to gain.
that's the cool thing about the classic too. I mean, you're not out there. I think my mentality may change a little bit in that tournament where you can go out and take a few chances and fish some new water and not really worry about it if you don't catch them. I mean, it's one of those tournaments where you can just kind of leave it out there, and that's definitely what I like about it.
Don't change the mentality. It's working.
That's right. That won't change. The fish may or may not bite, but the
Yeah.
mentality's not going to change.
Keep it steady.
Absolutely. Jordan, you seem comfortable with just about every technique. You really do. I mean, is there a technique that you are not comfortable with?
I'll tell you something that I don't know about technique, but one thing I never really figured out was that Demiki rig. I know y'all talk about it on here, but it's kind of pissed me off because it seems like all the tournaments, like that tournament that we had last year and this year at Martin, some guys were catching them on it, and I have yet to. I've caught maybe one bass on it, and I've tried it, and I hadn't really got that figured out. So, yeah, there's some things that I always could work on, though. I mean, there's some, smallmouth, up north in the current. I mean, that's kind of something I hadn't done well on. So there's a few places here and there that I hadn't really figured out for sure.
You got to come up here and do some ice fishing over the winter, and then you'll know the Demiki rig.
Don't come here and do ice fishing. It's horrible. Don't do it. It's awful.
Well, not here, but somewhere where it freezes.
Yeah.
It passes the time though.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure does.
Just go shoot things. That's what we do. If Seth Fighter doesn't want to ice fish, then believe me, it's not even worth it.
It must not be that cool, huh?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's absolutely not. So, what are some more life goals for you? Some more life goals as either just a human or an angler. What are some life goals for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, definitely as a professional angler, there's a lot to accomplish that I've yet to, win elite tournament or, angler of the year. And, there's always that to accomplish. But besides that, I mean, those things just happen, and you can't really force those. So, I mean, hopefully I'll accomplish that at some point. But as far as just, is life goals, I mean, I'm getting married this year in October, so that'll be a new chapter for us. And
Nice. Congratulations.
thank you. And, I'm looking forward to that. And, I mean, just what that has to offer. I mean, I'm still in my 20s, but, just want to, keep in the sport and just enjoy it for as long as I can. And, somehow make a difference in either younger anglers, lives. And that's something I really enjoy, probably honestly more than winning, is just the fact of seeing how many younger anglers are getting in it now. And, that's what we all need, is to have everybody fishing and getting on the water and having something like that to do. And you can actually make a career out of it. And that's something that I take pride in, just to show the younger generation that it doesn't matter what you're doing, that you can do it. And that's something I'm gonna, put some more time in over the years and try to, help out as many kids as I can.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you're kind of the new age of angler too. I mean, you really are. You've come, like, for example, when guys like myself were kids, we had to wait for Bassmaster magazine. Okay, I mean, I was anxiously waiting by the mailbox. I knew approximately when it would come. But
Me too.
no, I know you do. But you did have and let's call it the luxury of online information also. I still read the Bassmaster, but I still look at things online too. Hey, do you feel that's helped your age of basser?
I definitely feel like it was really the online and like YouTube and that was kind of probably I'd say it's happened in like the last 6 to 10 years probably where it's becoming more popular. But I really don't think it's that as much as I feel like it doesn't matter if you probably go back 10 years ago, there was somebody young coming up.
Sure.
And it's more so now, but I think the college fishing has really changed that where you're getting more, younger anglers involved in the high school. And when you get more kids involved, the more anglers you're going to have come out of it that are going to be good. And I feel like that's probably been the biggest difference as far as, the younger generation is just having more, events and having more opportunities to get better.
Yeah, more opportunities of knowledge.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I mean 100%.
I definitely remember seeing the younger anglers, but it was so rare. I mean, you had Brian Kerschel and you had Derek Remitz, guys like that were coming up young, but they were like the only ones, Now it's like there's a lot of you young
Stanley
guys
Mitchell.
Stanley Mitchell.
Yep. There's a lot more. It's became cool, I mean, it wasn't really cool. I mean, I don't feel like it was fishing. It wasn't cool when I was in high school.
Was not
I mean,
cool.
there was a couple guys that fished, but it wasn't like the cool thing to do. Now they got teams, and there's a bunch of kids on the team, and it's cool to fish. And more kids are doing it, and you're definitely going to see more and more younger guys come up in the leads.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can actually get babes now by being a bass
Yeah,
fisherman.
you got rims on your trailer.
It's pretty awesome.
I don't know about babes. I never killed it because of the fishing game. I promise. It wasn't my first pickup line.
It was your dancing moves, apparently, according to Kevin, that got you the babes.
It was not.
Hey, let's this show here, Jordan. We like to play games, man. You want to play a game show?
Let's play it.
All right, you want to play What's on Your Mind, or do you want to play the Bass and Match game?
I'm going to go with the Bass and Match game.
Bass and Match, good choice. Good choice. That's a safe one right there. That's a safe one. All right, it's time.
That's scary for me.
Yeah, don't be scared.
Maestro.
Let's play the Bass and Match game. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Right now, two-time Bassmaster Classic champion Jordan Lee joins us. Jordan, I am going to give you a word or a phrase, and you match it to bass fishing. The first one, Jordan, well-seasoned. Well-seasoned.
Match it to bass fishing?
Yeah,
like,
you picked it.
A well-seasoned veteran such as Kevin VanDam.
Such as Kevin VanDam.
Sure.
There. Okay. Well, see, we'll give that to him.
Yeah.
That was an easy answer. That was an easy one.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that was the right answer, but we'll go with it.
The monkey knuckle. The monkey knuckle.
Oh, gosh. I don't know how I can match this one to bass fishing. A monkey and a knuckle. What does that even mean?
It's the Bass and Match game. These are just words that come out of my mind. The monkey.
I'm passing on the monkey knuckle. I'll come back to it.
Okay, we think about that one. Keep it in the back of your burner there.
Are these correct answers for these, or is this just
We decide.
There's no correct. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just make shit up. That's all I do. The Shooter McGavin of bass fishing. The Shooter McGavin.
Okay, this is easier. Okay, Shooter McGavin. I'm gonna say Dean Rojas.
Rojas.
Interesting answer.
Wow.
Yeah.
And why? Why is that?
I don't know. I think all I can think about with Rojas is, in that one event where they were going at it, and I think it was Alton and him maybe,
Yep.
or something like that, and maybe he got shot down. I don't know.
He gave him the old Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
How about definitely want them on my team? Definitely want them on my team.
talking about anglers,
Sure. Or superheroes, whatever.
whatever, we're related to fishing. I'm gonna go with Jesse Wiggins and Gerald Swindle. They're gonna be on my team.
They're going to be on your team. There it is.
Yeah. Swindle's gonna make you laugh. Wiggins is gonna put you on the fish.
Don't
team.
shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. Don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes.
I don't have anything for whites on their eyes.
Yeah, that's. That's
You're gonna have to help me out on this.
that's fishing for spawning bass. It's fishing for spawning bass.
I didn't get that.
No, I didn't either. I just said that.
Over my head. Over my head.
You want to go back to monkey knuckle?
Oh man, monkey knuckle. I mean, oh, I don't have anything for that one either. You're killing me on this one.
I want to know what was in your head for monkey knuckle.
It's a brand new. It's a new Strike King bait that I just invented. The monkey knuckle.
What does it look like?
It's just a crazy bait that catches them all the time, every time. It's the
fair.
monkey knuckle, the 2018 Jordan Lee Signature Series Monkey Knuckle Bassmaster Classic winning bait.
They do have a space monkey.
They got the space.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then there's something called the
I was
knuckle.
kind of thinking that too, but I didn't really put two and two together.
Yeah. I'm calling Mark Copley and I'm giving him my idea for the monkey knuckle after
Yeah,
this.
tell me you want a royalty on it too.
Yes, absolutely. Getting that done. Here's the last one, Jordan. You're batting 1,000 so far.
Yep.
The master plan. The master plan related to bass fishing.
Master plan would be to go 3 in a row on Bass Master.
To go
Classic.
3 in a low. And let's get a consensus here. Yes, Jordan Lee is a winner on the Bass and Match game. You have done it. You've done it again.
Like that.
Yeah, you won, man. It's not as thrilling as winning a Bassmaster Classic, but
It's
it is
close.
It's a close second.
Yeah, it's a milestone. There's no doubt about it. Jordan, we thank you so much for coming on this crazy show again, dude. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I think last time I was driving my truck, so at least I got a little stable place to
Yeah,
do.
it was
And,
super dangerous.
Safety went up a notch.
We were like,
Yeah.
we were like, this is either going to go horribly well or horribly wrong, and either way, it was going to make bass fishing history. But we're glad that it ended up okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up good. So I appreciate it, guys, and hopefully I can be on sometime soon.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Best of luck to you. Congratulations on your engagement. And my word of advice to you is buy a mattress.
I heard that. Yeah,
Yes.
well, I already got one, so I may have to try to invest in something else. I'm not going to listen to Atkins' advice, that's for sure.
Don't do it.
Maybe some high-end pillows or something.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
and invest in the Strike King Monkey Knuckle because it's going to be a #1 seller. I promise you that.
That's the deal.
All right, right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Lee, 2-time Bassmaster Classic champion. Thanks so much, Jordan. Boom.
Appreciate it, guys.
Take care. Jordan Lee, a true champ,
Yeah.
a true pro, dude.
Yes.
Right there. I am still
3 of 'em.
overwhelmed from Rick Clunn. I'm not going to kid you. I'm a little thrown here today.
You were a little starstruck, weren't you?
I was. And that doesn't
I'd never seen it.
it doesn't happen to me. I'm not going to kid
No.
you. I was texting with I got a little shaky. I was
It
texting
sounded like me.
I was texting Wazona earlier, and he was like, "I'd be nervous," and I'm like, "God, but I don't ever get nervous." And,
Yeah.
And he said,
I mean,
"Just
you were a stone with Denny Brower.
yeah, I don't.
mean,
I don't know. Rick Clunn intimidates me for some reason. I don't even know what happened there. But anyway, we got prizes to give away, right? We have JP. Do you got a winner for the Bravarni baits? Oop, pop it like it's hot.
No, give me a second.
Okay, JP's coming up with it there. But I mean, the deal is, I'm pretty stoked to be here in the new studio.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable,
I'm very comfortable.
and I don't have to wear pants here.
That's true.
That's why I
Though
liked
I'm glad
it.
you did put some on.
Yeah, that's why I like this place right here. Ryan, what was your favorite Rick Clunn moment tonight?
Oh man, the whole Jay Ellis part was really great. But the my favorite part was that tip about 80% of the field giving up, and that's what you use to fight through to the end of the day.
Is that, you know what we forgot to ask him about, Ryan?
What's that?
We forgot to get some pointers for you on fishing Lake Calumet.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
I mean, he would have.
He smoked them there.
He would have give up the
Crank the riprap.
the sauce of
Yeah.
the juice.
Yeah, right.
He would have gave up the sauce of the juice
Yeah.
on that deal
How
right
did
there.
we miss that?
Hey, we do want to thank
I'll just ask Dale Bowman.
yeah, he'll tell you. We do want to thank all of our sponsors that make this show possible. Again, thank you to PH Custom Lures. Thank you to JB Fish Sauce. Go ahead, Ryan. You're next.
What did you say? PH Custom Lures?
JB Fish Sauce. Yes.
TH Marine.
Dem Jigs,
Dan
of course.
Brevard.
Brevard
Baits. Dem Jigs.
And of course, Power Pole. But as you said, Brevarney, Kapoom, and
Yes, sir.
don't forget the Alpha Angler.
Yes, Alpha Angler.
There it is.
And
but now,
Tightrope. Thanks, Tightrope.
Tightrope. What do they do for this show? I don't even own a tightrope.
They provide people.
You know who's knocking them out on the tightrope jigs?
Who's that?
The guys on the Ike Live staff.
Is that right?
Knocking them out
they
on
have
the
a
tight,
bunch.
on the tight. Well, they're Brian the Carpenter and Eric the Angry Inch.
You won't
Yeah.
believe this.
They gave him a whole bunch.
What?
One of the Ike Live's biggest fans won the contest.
Are you kidding me? Won the Brevarney swim jigs?
Yes.
Who could it be?
None other Wayne Morris.
Wayne Morris.
Wayne Morris is the winner of the
Oh, my
Brevarney
God.
$50 swim jig pack. Wow.
Wayne, we better see some Facebook Live and
Holy
burning
cow.
them swim jigs
Yes,
around.
yeah. Soon as you get that package there.
I want to
Wayne
see
Morris.
some live.
That means
swim jig
that
action.
now means I hope you know that Brian the Carpenter's rules are that you are now banned from the Ike Live show. That now that you have won on Stray Cast, you are banned from the Ike Live show for 1 month. That's
Yes.
Brian's new rules. That's right there. But congratulations to you, Wayne Morris, and thank you, Dan Brevarney of Brevarney Baits, the best swim jig in the land, hands down. Not going to kid you. Folks, thank you so much for another episode here. We appreciate you tuning in. Without your support, this is just a couple of guys. But we moved out of the basement, and now we're in the attic.
Yes.
So now it's kind of a big deal. It's
warmer up
but
here.
Thank you so much again to all you who watched tonight, and thank you to our sponsors. Without you, this is not possible. We will catch you next week right here, April 18th, 7 p.m. Central. Same Bass time, same Bass channel. Good night, Bass Galaxy. I bid you peace.